Hi everyone, Vacha here from recordingstudio9.com and thanks for joining me again today. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to record acoustic drum and make it sound really good with the cheapest microphones available, whatever you've got in your studio. This is my new acoustic drum set that I just purchased yesterday and I just quickly set it up. I'm not a drummer, as you would have heard just a few moments ago, but it's a good way to actually, if you've got the opportunity to get the drums and to set up and mic it, so you can actually learn how to record the drum set when a client walks in, because you don't want to spend a lot of time trying to set up the microphone to get a good sound while the client is actually paying for it. So currently I'm still waiting of my order of my drum kit microphone set. I only got one of the microphones, which I will show you in a minute, but the rest of the microphones I'm just using dead standard cheap dynamic microphones. In my studio I have about 4 of these microphones. These are the Behringer XM8500 dynamic microphone. It's called Ultravoice. They're very general purpose microphone, nothing special. I just use them for normal miking, for people talking or whatever I need to mic generally. So I thought I'll use this opportunity to demonstrate how I've used 3 of those microphones to be able to set up to the drum set and see if I can actually get a decent sound recorded in my DAW. So if you have very similar cheap microphones as well, hopefully not too cheap, something decent, then you might be able to record your drums as well, to practice and get to understand how to record drums, where to place the mics, and get a feel of it. So when a client does walk in, you spend minimal time setting it up and then just spend more time in recording good takes. So let me take you around and show you how I have set up for this testing purpose, and then we'll also have a listen what I've recorded and what I did to actually make it sound decent enough. Well, just taking my drumming inexperience bit out. We're looking at the sound, not the timing and not the terrible rolls. Anyway, so here we are. That's the snare, that's the hi-hats, the tom, low tom, high tom, low tom, and the kick drum there as well. So again, as you can see, the snare has the microphone just pointing right there, and this is the hi-hat pointing right at the hi-hat, and I'm just using one microphone to actually capture some of the toms right here. And for the kick, I'm using my JTS NX2. This is a special microphone for kick drums, and it will capture all of the low-end frequencies of the kick. Here, all 4 microphones are connected to my PreSonus Audiobox 1818 VSL audio interface, just using the first 4 microphone inputs. They are dynamic, so I don't even need any 48-volt phantom power. Well, now that I've got all the tracks recorded in my DAW, which in this case, for example, I'm using MAGIX Samplitude Music Studio, and I've just recorded the 4 tracks from the 4 microphones. So let's get onto the screen and I'll show you how I achieved, decent recording from my not too decent playing. Here are my tracks in row mode. I have the hi-hat, and then I've got the snare, and then the kick, toms, and I've routed them into a drum bus. So all 4 tracks go into a bus. The way to do that is quite easy. You add a new track and you say, I want a new submix bus. And that gives you this type of bus. And then you can assign the outputs. Let's assume the output of the hi-hat. We can scroll down here. You can see that's my input, and my output is going to the bus. And then we assign this one, same drum bus, same as that one. And then just checking my kick, again, drum bus, and my toms are going to drum bus as well. And that's my drum bus output is going to a stereo master. So there we go. So those are the tracks, and let's have a quick listen. There's no effects or there's nothing added. Here's my mixer. So all level, everything as it's been recorded. Very ordinary. Okay, so let's have a listen to the hi-hats. I'm just going to solo that. See how that one sounds. Not bad, but you can still hear some of the bleed of the snare. Let's have a listen to the snare. Being so close, you can hear the bleed of the hi-hat. And let's have a listen to the kick drum now. I might actually put it out here because I'm playing louder there. I got excited. You can still hear a lot of bleeding. Okay, and then the toms, which is sort of like an overhead for it as well. I think I'll play the toms right there. So nice levels. I think they're averaging about minus 20 dB for all these recordings, sometimes a bit higher. So let's have a look what we can do. The first thing I probably want to do with the hi-hat, go into the effects, and with the parametric EQ, let's get rid of some of the low end. Let's solo that one out. Nope. Let's try that again. Let's solo it and have a listen. And let's get all the low. See that? Got rid of the so that's EQ'd the hi-hats, and I'm just using the built-in effect for Samplitude MAGIX Studio. And let's do that to the snare as well. Let's see what we can do. A good snare part that I'm playing is probably about here. So let's get that sort of looping there. I'm just sort of adjusting some of the let's get of some of the hi-hat bleed. That's what it was. That certainly cleaned it. Okay. Now let's look at the kick. And again, the kick, I'm just going to loop just between there because that's the loudest. So we'll be able to hear, solo that. I mean, you could use some of the presets as well. Let's try Superwoofer. Bass boost first. I think I like that one. Maybe too much. That's the ringiness there. We can take it out. Oh. And let's bypass. That's the closest we're going to get. And that's done that as well. Now the toms, I'll assume it's going to have lots of bleed. And I can see that from the waveforms right here. So just solo that, and I know there's solo right there. I'm playing the toms there. Yeah. Again, we probably high pass and low pass. Yep. I think that should do it as well. Okay, so that's pretty much tuned most of our tracks. Let's have a listen from the beginning. Let's pan this. I'm gonna do some Okay, let's put some effects on the bus. See if we can make it anything sort of better. And I might add some compressor. Again, built-in compressor. That's just going to use... let's try some of the presets. think I might have to brighten it up a bit. Now that it's a bit brighter, we can bring down the... Now that's sounding, quite decent without doing much to it. Obviously, we can spend a lot of time EQing a bit more and using some of the compression as well. I guess one other thing that I would add to this is a little bit more compression to the kick drum itself to bring up some of the punchiness in. But comparing to what we had and what microphone we are using, we can't expect miracles, obviously. But with some of the mixing that we can do and editing, we might be able to get, decent quality. So let's go back to the effects of the kick drum. And for this, let's add, again, you got to remember I am actually using only the built-in effects of Samplitude Music Studio. Sure, I could go and use hundreds and hundreds of other plugins that I have, but I want to demonstrate how you can do it by using simply the available plugins. So I'm just going to get the compressor and let's see what we can get for the kick. Let's solo the kick. Now we're getting some more kick. Well, there you have it. We can spend all day tweaking with it, but this is just a quick demonstration that's gone a little bit longer than I expected. But you can see how we can use very budget microphones, a little bit of EQing and compression, and we can have, decent outcome. And then we can progress from there by improving our mixing and editing capability. And then hopefully we'll make enough money where we are able to purchase much better quality microphones so we can actually capture much better sound as well. Maybe use a better drum kit as well, not like my drum kit. Again, a very budget drum kit. Well, as you can see, you don't really need expensive microphones to be able to capture good enough sound from your drum set and then use your DAW built-in EQ and compressor, and then you get a decent outcome from it. It is a learning curve, so you are learning recording drums until you are able to afford better microphone set, just like myself. While I'm waiting for my drum set microphone kit to come, I'm just using whatever I've got to be able to learn and exercise recording drums. Well, I hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure you give me the thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you click the bell next to the subscribe button, you'll get notified as soon as I upload any new videos onto my YouTube channel. Till next time, as always, thanks for watching and have a great time making music, and I hope you are much better drummer than I am. But then again, that's how we learn, step by step. Cheerio.